What's up, everybody, and welcome to the live stream for Week 1 predictions. Thank you all for joining. Please let me know who you're cheering for this year in the chat. I have a poll up for our first pick because I also want to hear what you guys have to say. So Nashville SC versus NYCFC. Who's going to win? Is it going to be a draw? And what we're going to do, we are going to do that for this episode. I guess this live stream is for each game. I'm going to put up a poll. Want you guys to chime in on that. Tell me what your thoughts are. I'll go through my pick, and then I will also keep track of who you guys say. And in the next video, which will probably not be a live stream for week 2, but we are going to have it that way. So let's get into it here. So we have Nashville SC versus NYCFC. I don't think NYCFC is going to have a good year. Just my opinion. And then also here, I'm still pulling some stuff up here, so I'm a little behind. I know. I'm sorry. So they are playing at Geodis Park. I don't think NYCFC win this match. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Please let me know. Angus, hello. Since I'm from St. Louis, I am rooting for St. Louis. Hey, I'm excited for St. Louis too. It's always exciting whenever there is a new team in the league. I'm excited for them. Hopefully they do pretty well this season, but I'm not 100% sure how well they will do. But looking at this Nashville NYCFC, I know that this just started. I think Nashville's going to be tough to beat at home. Not too much turnover there in Nashville, but I'm going to have to say Nashville win this match. I'm going to have to say 2-1, I think, on opening day. I think that a lot of teams, that the home team is going to win in this match day 1. What's your guys' thoughts? Let me know. So here, we got 5 votes in for the first matchup here, and right now, 60% of you are saying Nashville SC is going to win this match. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. TFC winning it all this year. I think they're going to be a surprise. I do think that they will be a surprise. I don't know if they'll win it, though, but I think that they could finish mid to top table there in the East. So I'm going to go ahead and end this first poll. So you all think it's going to be Nashville SC that is winning that first match. Save Crystal Gaming, thanks for stopping in there. You voted for Nashville just because you're a Titans fan. That's fantastic. So you all did pick Nashville on that one. All right, so this next game is going to be Atlanta United versus San Jose. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think Atlanta win at home, or does San Jose come in and upset them, or does it end in a draw? I think Atlanta has a lot to offer this year. I think that they're definitely going to be better than what they were last year, and I don't think San Jose is going to be as good. I think that they're going to finish in about the same spot where they were last year. I don't feel like they brought in anybody. Let's take a look at their roster real quick here. My computer will work here. I'm not seeing anybody that's really standing out for me. Do we have any San Jose fans in here? Raphael, Atlanta will flop again this year. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, that's your opinion. I think that they'll be better than what they were last year. I think they were, 11th last year in the East? Caslin, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Really, Sporting Kansas City versus Nashville in the MLS Cup final? I wouldn't mind seeing that. Two different teams there in the final more than usual there. Yeah, I just don't see, but I also don't see San Jose being that good this year. They don't really have anybody unless I'm missing, that they got a big signing. I just don't see it. And then Atlanta, hopefully, I'm glad. I think I said this in one of my other videos. I'm glad that Guzan is back. I know that I have complained about him. I think that he is not the greatest anymore. I never thought he was great, but he's good. But he is a very good leader, in my opinion. So I'm kind of glad that he's back. I'm glad Miles Robinson's going to be back. And I hope that Alonso comes back too. I hate the fact that he only got to play like a very, very short time there at the beginning of the season. What was it? I think it was like 2 games in or something like that. And no, 4 games in. So 4 games in, and he was knocked out with his ligaments. So hopefully he's back. But I'm going to have to say that Atlanta win this at home, and I think that they're going to win it pretty easily. I think it might be 3-1, but we'll go with Atlanta on that. Cam, Austin versus Cincinnati final. Austin takes it. I think that would be a phenomenal MLS Cup final. I think that Austin's a good team. I think people are underestimating Cincinnati, to be honest. But if they can keep both Vasquez and Acosta, I think that they could make a run to the final. So we got 6 votes in for the Atlanta versus San Jose. Right now, 67% of you say Atlanta's going to win, and then 17% San Jose, and 17% a draw. So we're going to go ahead and end that one. So you all picked Atlanta United. Cam, Vasquez is our future number 9. I hope so. I really think that he has a good build, a good frame, and I think that he can play multiple roles, and he has a good all-around game as a number 9, I think. So, yeah, I could actually see him being our future number 9. I think Pepe is not too skinny, but I just think that he only has like one aspect of his game. I think that he could be bullied off the ball very easily. I would like to see DK do something. I hope that his game improves, and hopefully he stops being injury prone. So our next game here, we have New England it's Charlotte and New England. And, of course, the Revs have the worst kit in the league between them and Toronto, in my opinion. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think that what was your favorite kit? What was your least favorite kit? Rafael, Colorado versus Houston will be the final for Biggest Losers Cup. I don't know if Colorado will beat down that far. I don't think that they'll be that terrible. Do you think they will? Do you think they're going to be that bad? I guess they really didn't bring anybody in that I'm thinking of. Now, I can agree Houston's not going to be very good. They haven't brought in anybody. Now, let's look at Colorado real quick. So they got a goalkeeper. So they did get Connor Ronan from the Wolves from the Premier League. I don't know how good he is, but that's a central midfielder for them. They got a couple guys, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't see Colorado being that bad. I don't think that they're going to finish at the bottom of the table or anything like that. But all right, Charlotte versus New England. So far right now, you guys are saying 67% Charlotte, and the 33% are the New England Revolution. I think Charlotte's going to be pretty good this year. I think that I can't remember what they finished last year, but I know that they weren't too far from making the playoffs. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. So yeah, Charlotte was just outside of the playoffs at number 9. And of course, this year, if they finish 9th place, they would be in the playoffs. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that the playoffs to the 18 teams, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Angus, Minnesota is the worst kit. It appears not to be finished. Best kit is Seattle. I think Seattle's is good. I actually think Minnesota's is one of the best, to be honest. I think if you remove the Target logo, it is the best. That's just my opinion, though. But anyway, so Charlotte finished 9th, and then you had the Revs finish 10th last year. So this might be a pretty good matchup, but I think, again, Charlotte, I think that Charlotte might have the upper hand here. Well, they do because they are at home. They are at Bank of America. Caslin, I don't like the new playoff format. Neither do I. I'm not a fan of it. I understand that American sports, that's what we shoot for is the, we want to have our team make the playoff, and we more people watch the playoffs and all that. But I think that to your real hardcore fans and diehards, like, we got to make the regular season actually mean more, and having an 18-team playoff is not the answer, in my opinion. I think it needs to be like a 12, and maybe even 12's too many, especially with no promotion relegation. It just, you got to make it worthwhile, and you got to make the regular season mean more. That's just me, though. But back to the Charlotte New England Revolution game. I think that this game is going to be a pretty good one, but I think that it's going to end in a draw, and I think that it's going to be like a 2-2 draw there in Bank of America Stadium. For you all, you have Charlotte at 50%, and then the Revs and the draw at 25%. So you guys think that Charlotte's going to win it there at home? Yeah, I do believe that a lot of teams, a lot of the home teams are definitely going to win this first game, just because it's the start of the season. That's kind of why I wanted to do a live stream, because it's one of those, these are all up in the air. We don't know who's on a hot streak, who's on a cold streak, nothing like that. And it's so hard for you to tell from preseason games to see, who's going to do what. This poll up for DC United versus Toronto FC is the next game there. What are your all's thoughts? So Cam, it's a good thing in respect to more teams being involved and getting into the playoffs, but unless you're competing for the Shield, some teams may stop caring if solidly in. Yes, rewards mediocre. Angus, there is a huge home field advantage in the past with the MLS. Yeah, with the MLS, yeah, home field advantage is actually a huge thing because teams are so far apart from each other. It's hard for away fans to travel to those away games. Cam, back to you. I understand, you want to have more teams involved, but I want to see the regular season be more competitive, because like you said, if they're in, halfway through the season, they're just going to pretty much just mess around to make it, to the playoffs, unless they're going for that 1 seed or 2 seed, but I don't like it. I want it to be more competitive. So, really 12 teams, 6 from each side maybe would be a good one. Heck, I would even like to see it be like an 8-team playoff, but then you have it a shortened playoff, and we don't like that. We don't like the shortened playoff, but I would do 8 teams and do best of 3 or home and away, and then whoever wins on aggregate goes through. I don't know. There's so many other options than having 18 teams in the playoffs. That's 62% of the league in the playoffs. Just doesn't make sense to me. Raphael, I think Toronto would be more competitive this year and make the playoffs, but still very inconsistent. I would agree with that. I think that Toronto will make it into the playoffs. They will be competitive. I just don't think that they'll go too far in the playoffs. I can agree with you on that one. So right now, out of the 5 that have voted, 80% have said Toronto and 20% has said DC United. With this matchup, I don't think DC is going to be that great this year. I really don't. I don't think that they have brought in enough. Yeah, they brought in, I don't know how to say his name. I can't remember. It's Klisch or something like that. I'm so sorry. I really butchered his name there. But yeah, they brought in him, but I don't think that's not enough. I just don't think that they'll be good. I think that they'll miss the playoffs. If they do make the playoffs, it's going to be that 9th place. So I could see Toronto coming in and winning this game in DC. And I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to agree with you all. I think that Toronto win this game. I'm going to say 2-0. They'll win this game. Yes, from Leeds. Yes, the guy from Leeds. I just don't know how to say his name. So he wasn't very good for Leeds. I don't really remember him from Leeds. That's the bad thing. I don't think I don't feel like he played that much, did he? I guess we could look it up. So here, we're going to go ahead and end this poll. And you all picked Toronto also. So we'll get the next game going here. So we do have FC Cincy versus Houston. Who do you guys think is going to win this one? Insigne scores. Yeah, I hope that he has a better season this year. I don't feel like he had a very good season last year. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, so here, let's just look at his stats from last year. You know, he had in August against Brighton, he had a 7.1 according to FootMob, their rating. He had a 7.1. So he had that, but then averaged in the mid 6.5 area in the rest of his game. So that to me is not all that great. So I agree with you, Cam. That's not all that great. Angus, the new playoff system is very confusing. New rules for every round creates a bias with random events. Very inconsistent. I agree. And I agree with, I don't know if you all saw Phil Neville's press conference or whatever he said about the league. Like, we are 4 or 5 days out from whenever he did this. 4 days out from the start of the season. You're just now telling us how the playoffs are going to work. It doesn't make any sense. So from my understanding for the playoffs is the 8 and 9 seed teams from both sides will play each other. Whoever wins gets in. And then that next round where it's 1 through really 8 teams at that point, you play a home, you play the best of 3, and it starts with the highest seed being at home. So the first game's at home, the second game's away for the higher seed, and then if that second game, if the lower seed team wins that second, if they draw, then they go back to the higher seed's home to finish out that draw, the draw there. For the best of 3, and then after that, I believe it's just single elimination. So yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand it either. It is very inconsistent. Cam, yeah, Neville ripped the league, but totally justified. It's a clown show. I agree. I agree with that. I think he had every right. He had every right to say what he said, and it's true though. And it's just like last year. I mean, He also ripped the league for not knowing where they were going to play their playoff game against NYCFC. If it was going to be at Red Bull Arena, because it couldn't be at Yankee Stadium. And then it ended up being at, I think, Citibank Field, another baseball field. So, he threw a fit about that because, they couldn't even, get their hotel rooms booked and all of that. So, yeah, it's just annoying. And yes, they've changed the playoffs 5 times already. Yeah, they just need to pick something and stick with it for a little while and then maybe change it up. I can't remember what years it was, but there was a couple times before this I liked it better. Let them play. I still think that just let them play 2, if it's the 1 and 8 seed, you play a home and away, and kind of like I think it's the Champions League. Just play it like that. Whoever, has the aggregate goes on. So, but anyway, let's go back to DC. Well, no, we're on to FC Cincinnati and Houston. See, got me on a rant there. So, FC Cincinnati, they're at TQL Stadium against a bad Houston Dynamo team. I don't think that Houston's going to have that great of a season. 86% of you say that Cincinnati will win. 14 of you say a draw, and no one is voting for Houston. So I'm guessing we have no Houston fans in here, or a Houston fan that is very realistic. But I have to agree. I think that FC Cincinnati will win this game at TQL Stadium, and I think that it'll be a 2-1 score there at Cincinnati. So moving on, we have Inter Miami versus Montreal. So what's everyone's thoughts on Montreal? Do we think that they're going to be good this year? Are they going to be terrible? I don't think that they're going to be that great, to be honest. I think that they've lost too much. Inter Miami, I think I saw the other day they did a projected lineup, and I know that some people, I am a huge Joseph Martinez fan. Love the guy. Hate the fact that he had to move away from Atlanta. I understand it's a business. I understand that the coach is not, doesn't really like him, and he doesn't really fit, doesn't really fit there what he wants to do, I guess. But having Joseph and Capana up front, I think that they're going to be pretty good. I think Inter Miami might surprise us this year. I don't know what they finished last season, because did they make the playoffs? I think they did make the playoffs. See, my mind is everywhere. So yeah, they did. They were 6th last year. So I think that they're going to be pretty good this year. I will say that. So here we go. Cam, losing Nancy is a big deal, to be honest. I agree with that. I think that them losing Nancy, and they sold a lot of players, if I remember correctly, this year also. Yeah, like Johnston went to Celtic. Ismail went to Watford. Mihalovic went to Alkmaar. I mean, so they've, and like that was 3 of their best players in my opinion. So I don't think Montreal will be all that great this year either, like that. Cody, Montreal, I feel, will struggle without Mihalovic. Yep. Martinez will score on his debut. I kind of hope so. I really hate that he went to Miami. I hate that he's in the East, but I will definitely be cheering for Martinez. Rafael, Inter will be at the top of the table while Montreal will drop in places compared to last year. I agree. I think that we might see Miami in the top 5 this year, maybe even top 3. I don't know if they could be first place. I don't think that they can finish at the very top, but I think that they're definitely going to be good. Whereas because Montreal finished 2nd last season, they're going to finish below 10. I'll say that now. So you guys right now are saying Miami 43%. Oh, we do have some people saying Montreal. So Montreal, the people that voted for Montreal, why did you pick Montreal over Miami? Because I think they're in Miami, aren't they? Yeah. So they're in Miami. So where's those Montreal fans at that think that they're going to win? That 29% there. I think that Miami is going to win this game. It might be a high scoring game. I think that it might be like a 3-2. I think that Montreal will try to fight back, but I'm going to go 3-2 Inter Miami. So next up we have Orlando City versus New York Red Bull. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? How do we think that Orlando is going to do this year? How do we think Red Bull are going to do this year? I could see these guys. But I think both teams will make the playoffs, I believe, with these 2 teams. Even though Orlando finished 13th last season, they did. They finished 13th last season, and Red Bull finished 12th. So they were both at the bottom of the table. But I think that might change this year. I could see them being mid to. I got a feeling that they'll be mid-table, in between like 6 and 10. I could see them. Cody, Orlando are going to be fire with Ojeda. Is that how you say that? Both very inconsistent teams. I agree with you. They definitely are very inconsistent. Here, let's look at that. Ojeda. He's a lefty, 24 years old, from Argentina. He's a right wing. So he came from the Argentinian league there. So he was pretty consistent-ish. His last game for them... Well, no, his last game for them, he had a 5.9 rating, but the game before that, he had an 8 rating, according to FootMob. So he sounds like he's going to be pretty good. He's not a big scorer, though. Yeah, he did come from Godoy. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Cruz, yeah, so he went there. He had 32 goals from August 2020 until he left there. So yeah, he played 97 matches, 32 goals. That's pretty good. We'll see how he does here in the MLS. So currently you guys are saying, 6 votes. And We have Orlando at 33%, Red Bull at 33%, and Draw at 33%. We got someone else to break up that voting that hasn't voted? That would be fantastic. If not, we're just going to go with who I think. I'll break the tie here. All right, I actually think that this match is going to end in a draw. I think that, like Raphael said, they're very inconsistent, but I think it's going to end in a draw there at Explorer Stadium, and I'll say it'll be like a 1-1. It's so hard to pick these first games. It really is. So we'll go with that. We'll pick a draw here. Yeah, 15 goal contributions in 27 games, 6 goals, 9 assists. That's good. But do they have a goal scorer though? That's the big question. I don't think that Orlando really has anybody up top, do they? Pato maybe? Torres? I don't know. We'll see though. I'm excited. I'm excited to see all the new faces, all the new players in the league. So next up we have Philadelphia Union versus the Crew. I think this is going to be a very good matchup. I think that these are going to be two good teams. I think that Columbus bringing Nancy in as the manager was a great thing for them. Huge loss for Montreal. I think, Cam said that in the chat there. Union are going to be tough again this year. I could see Union repeating, going to the MLS Cup. I could even see them winning the Supporter Shield if they play like they did last year. But yeah, like Philadelphia haven't lost to the Columbus Crew in their last 5 meetings. That's a good one. Union have not. They are unbeaten in the last 19 home games of theirs, so that got to keep that in mind. Raphael, 2 of the most consistent teams, high-scoring game for sure. Yeah, I think that this could be one that we see like a 3-3 draw or a 3-2, maybe even like a 4-3. Cody, Philly have lost no one, consistently dominating. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, so Union have scored 11 goals in their last 5 matches. Yes, that is dating back to last year, but when you don't really lose anybody, you're going to continue that. Columbus, though, haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 6 matches, and they haven't won an away match in the last 7 games that they've played away. Again, this is dating back to last year, but you got to keep that in mind. But it's one of those things in the MLS, home field is huge, and I feel like there's a lot more home wins than there is home losses in the league, unless you're one of the terrible teams in the league. But for that, I think that this, like Raphael said, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think that this game, I think Philadelphia will win this game, and I'm going to say 4-2. Let's just go with 4-2. Let's see what you guys are saying. 83% say the Union. No one's saying the Crew. And 17% is saying a draw. So we'll go with the Union there. All right. Moving right along here. Only a couple more. Well, not a couple more games. We have, 6 more games to go here. So we have Austin FC versus St. Louis. The new kids on the block. So what do we think? What do we think is going to happen here? Austin winning at home. St. Louis going to come in and win their first ever MLS game. Or are they going to go down there and get a draw? Let's go Austin. I think Austin's going to be one of the best teams this year. I think that they, in my opinion, I think they're the top contender there in the West to make it to the MLS Cup. I think it's going to be a battle between them and the Galaxy. So Austin have scored 5 goals in their last 5 matches. Why would they even put this? Football put St. Louis have scored 0 goals in their last 5 matches. They haven't even played yet. Angus, for the record, I'm rooting for St. Louis. I'm predicting Austin. Yeah, I mean, I hope that they do good for their first season. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on them. I hope that they do play well. But yeah, I don't think that they're going to win this one, or even draw this one. I think that Austin, they kept a lot of their players from last season. I think that they're going to be on a mission this year. I think that they thought that last year was kind of a letdown, especially in that last match. They definitely dropped the ball. Raphael's saying 1-0 Austin. St. Louis will give them a hard fight. I think so too. With it being in the first game of the season, I think they will. Cody, I think with Austin, they now have a strong striker in Zardes. He's gonna be banging goals in, assisted by Fagundes, Derusi. Yeah, Zardes is getting up there though. He's getting up there in age. He's kind of went downhill the last couple years. I know that I'm pretty sure he had an injury recently in the last couple years also. So I think Austin are going to benefit from the new playoff structure and win the cup. So you're saying that they're going to win it. I don't know if they'll win it. I think that they might get to it. I think that the East is going to be the Union and Cincinnati for some reason. I keep thinking that Cincinnati is going to be up there. I don't know why. I mean, I know why in my feelings for like Vasquez, how he plays, Acosta. I think that they're coming back with a chip on their shoulder from last year too. So, but yeah, I think that Austin's going to be good. Cam, our success might hinge on Regan. Coming good. He hasn't really delivered yet and was a huge signing. I'm terrible with names. I love the MLS and and all the teams and everything. Love the players, but man, I'm terrible with names. All right, so you all are saying Austin for sure. I'm also going to go with Austin. I think Austin, though, will win this game 2-0 over St. Louis. Yeah, Derusi. Yeah, I did see that, Cam. Derusi and Fagundes are done. So I think that they're on a mission there in Austin. They really are. So next up we have Dallas versus Minnesota. Who y'all got? I think Minnesota are going to be pretty good this year. I also think that Dallas are going to be pretty good this year. I think they're going to run about mid-table. Mid to high table, both of them. I think both will make the playoffs. Yeah, let's look at the last year's standings. So Minnesota finished 6th, and then Dallas finished 3rd last year. I'd like to see Ferreira have a fantastic season again this year. I would like to see them go a little bit further in the playoffs also, but I know only so many teams can go further. But I think that they'll have a good season. I think Minnesota will also have a good season. What's your guys' thoughts? So here, so Dallas have won their last 2 matches against Minnesota, so that's out there. Minnesota haven't won an away game in their last 5 matches. Ivan, thanks for stopping in. I think that's the first time you commented. How you doing? Yeah, both are mid-table for me, I think, this year. Even though they both played very well last year, made the playoffs, but I think these are going to be mid-table teams. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there with them being mid-table. I think that we're going to see Seattle and Portland both be higher than what they were last year. They're going to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. So I think that's going to drop Dallas and Minnesota down a little bit. Don't think Real Salt Lake are going to be as good this year as they were last year. I think last year was kind of a fluke for them because they were at the top of the table for a while. Dallas is a little bit better in my opinion, Ivan. Yeah, they have more attacking power. I agree with that than what Minnesota does. So I'm going to have to say that Dallas win this at home because they are at Toyota Stadium. I think that they will win. And I'm going to have to go with like I'm going to go 1-0. I think it's going to be a low scoring. So you guys agree with me there for Dallas. Yeah, Cam, they didn't impress in preseason. I didn't really see anything for preseason for them. And I didn't see how they did. But I really didn't think. I think that they just did enough last year. I don't know if anybody feels the same way. as I do, but I feel like it was one of those things they just did enough. They scored when they had to. They defended when they absolutely had to. They just snuck by. But here's our biggest matchup, and I think the most looked forward to game on match day 1 is LA Galaxy versus LAFC. There's the poll. This is going to be a good one. They're playing at the Rose Bowl. I don't think LAFC is going to be as good as they were last year. Nowhere near what they were last year. I mean, they were first place, 67 points, clear. I don't think they're going to be... I don't think that they're going to be that. They might get 50 points this year. I don't know how you all feel about that. If they do get 50 points, that would put them at like 4th or 5th place according to last year's numbers. But they could be under that too. I think that they might finish 5th or 6th. I know that they're still going to be a good team. I think the Galaxy are going to be a better team than them this year. He is a baller. He's good. Apoku might have a good season. Yeah, he might. Angus, the sanctions imposed on the Galaxy for cooking the books might affect them this year. It might, but if the players just play, I think that they'll be good. I can't remember. I tweeted about it the other day, and I know it's just preseason, but I think that hit the one guy's goal was a banger. I can't remember who had it. Here, I'm trying to look back through my tweets real quick. But it was a banger. Delgado, outside of the 18-yard box. I think a draw, both teams evenly matched, but not surprised if Galaxy win this. Ivan and then Rafael. I think LAFC won't be as good last year, but Galaxy will still be doo-doo. Hey, I am not a Galaxy fan. I do not care for Galaxy. I think they're going to be pretty good this year, though. So you guys are saying that LAFC are going to win this. 50% goes to that, and then the 25% go to Galaxy, and 25% go to a draw. So you all are going with LAFC. I'm going with a draw in this matchup. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think that we're going to see 4 goals in this matchup. So we're down to our final 3 games. We have the Timbers next. Timbers versus Sporting KC. Who y'all got? I'm kind of high on the Timbers. I think that they'll definitely make the playoffs. We're not going to see 2 seasons in a row with them not making the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. Just like Seattle. I don't see Seattle missing the playoffs this year either. But, so, that's the thing. Timbers weren't in the playoffs last year, neither was Kansas City. So what's your all's thoughts on this? You think it's going to end in a draw? Is Portland going to win there at Providence Park? They're very good at Providence Park. So looking at FootMob's insight, the Timbers have scored 6 goals in their last 5 matches, dating back to last year. And then Sporting KC have scored 9 goals in their last 5. So they did put up a good bit of goals, but I don't know. I think that Timbers, yes, I was just about to say that. Evander, I think, Evander, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I think that he's going to be a good, he's definitely a good signing for the Timbers, and I kind of hope he puts on, a show this year for him. But I think with this being at Providence Park, it's one of those things. You guys are going with a draw right now. 50% of you draw, and then 25% between both teams. I think Timber are going to get it done. It's just, I just think that they are a good team, and especially at Providence Park. Providence Park, they're good there. Oh, changed a little bit there. Sporting Kansas City at 33%. Cam, damn, Alex Morgan, great goal for the U.S. women's national team just now against Brazil. Banger. Let's go, Alex. That's my girl. Alex is one of my favorite players. I hate the Timbers for some reason. USA, Cam. Bino the Dino. What's up? When Sporting Kansas City played at Providence Park, they lost 7-2, and Timbers had a great preseason. Plus, adding Evander. Yes, Evander. I think Timbers 2-0 or 3-1. Yeah, I think that I'm going to have to go with Timber get this done. I think Timber are going to get it done I'm going to go 2-1. I think that they'll get a late goal to win the game there at Providence Park. And so for you all, you are going with a draw. Sporting Kansas City won't miss the playoffs this year with the four-headed dragon. Okay. I kind of hope that they do good this year. It's one of those, I just want everyone to do good. I always say that. But yes, I hope Sporting Kansas City do better than 12th. All right, our next game. So what are we down to? We're down to 2 more games. We have the Whitecaps versus Real Salt Lake. I don't think Salt Lake are going to be that good this year. Like I said earlier, I think that last year was just a fluke. Big time for them last year. I don't think that they're going to do that great. Cody, yes, there is a link to the Discord in the description below there. So go ahead and join it. It would be wonderful to get everyone to start chatting on there. There's a couple people that have joined it, not a whole bunch, and it's very slow in the chat there, in the Discord. But I would love to get that started up. I would love to talk to people every day. I want us all to be a community. I love the fact that all of you have come out and are chatting and voting. I really like that. Hopefully y'all tune in on Saturday to the watch along Nashville against NYCFC. We'll be doing that. And then going forward, I will put polls out on the community tab to see what games for the next week. I plan on doing a watch along, at least one game every weekend from here on out. I don't know if I'll do these too much where they're live streaming the picks, just because it doesn't seem like there's too many people. And I did a poll for it, and it was kind of like 50-50. People were going to rewatch tomorrow after the fact. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I'll probably put another poll out and see how you guys like that. Also, I was on a podcast last night for the United States of Soccer. I actually meant to put their link down in the description. Let me find it here, and I will put it in there. But check those guys out. They talk Premier League, and they are going to be talking MLS. I will probably be on their channel like once a month. I think that's what they were, what they were asking. So that's exciting. I really like those guys. They're really cool. So definitely check them out. I will put the link in the description when I get to it. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm running behind. I'm going to go with the Caps, Cam. No real justification. Just a gut feeling on this one. Putting RSL just because they went the distance with Austin in the playoffs. They did. Cody, love the chatting. Let's do it every week. I kind of want to, but it's one of those things. If we don't have a lot of people involved, I don't want to do it. But at the same time, it is cool. I will sit and chat with everybody. Angus, what team do you support? If you're asking me, my favorite teams are Atlanta, and then I also like Nashville. I really liked it when Nashville was in the West, Atlanta was in the East, but now they're both in the East there. Are there any games televised for game week 1, or are they on Apple TV? Actually, Ivan, also for everyone, that very first game, that Nashville versus NYCFC, that game is it is on Apple TV. I don't know if it's on any televised, but that game is free on Apple TV. So even if you don't have a subscription or subscribed or anything, I did see that game is free this week. So back to Whitecaps versus Real Salt Lake. You all are going for the Whitecaps to win this. I think I'm going to have to go with the Whitecaps also to win this, just because they're at home. There's no real, I think someone else said no justification. Same here. I just think that if you're at home, that's the better. That's the better. That's the better pick. Sorry, I'm getting all caught up in my words. And I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a 1-0. Cody's saying he believes that all of the games are free this weekend, so that's pretty cool. Happy I got the MLS season pass free since I got T-Mobile. Yes, Ivan, you're right. Also, if there's anybody in the chat or watching, if you do have T-Mobile and you don't know yet, you actually get you get the MLS season pass free through your carrier there. So that's pretty cool on that part. So here we're going to end this poll. Whitecaps are the winner for the chat. And I will post in the next video. If I just do a video for the next one and not a live stream, I will post to show if you all guessed right or not. So we're down to our final game here. Seattle, the Sounders versus the Rapids. Who do y'all have? What do you think they're going to do this year? So here's that United States of Soccer. Michael, Alex, Brian, they're all awesome. There's their anchor, but you can also find them on all pretty much the other major places: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Go check them out. You can also follow them on Twitter. At their, I'll even put their handle out there. They're awesome guys. If you like the Premier League, also on top of that, they're awesome. There's their Twitter there in the chat. Ivan, I think Sounders easily win this. Cody says, tough call, but I'm feeling a cagey game. I think it'll be a good one. I think Seattle, though, are definitely the better side there. I also updated the description to add in United States of Soccer. I kind of just flew over my head about them. But yes, I put their link in the description, so anybody that's watching, tomorrow, check them out. Like I said, I was on there. That episode that I am on is dropping tomorrow, I believe. So check it out. I talk all about the MLS and who I think is going to do good this season, who I don't. And so check them out. Like I said, those guys are awesome over there. And hopefully I will have them on the channel in a video at some point. So we got back to the final game here. Raphael, also hate the Sounders for some unknown reason. I think it's one of those things that they're just consistently good, maybe, and that's why. But I'm not sure. So we got Fernando. Second year watching MLS. All I know is Seattle are good. We, Austin FC, couldn't beat them. I think Austin will definitely beat them this year. I think that Austin's going to be tough to beat. If they play a little bit of defense. I feel like they didn't play a ton of defense last season, but I think if they do, I think that they are going to be very tough to beat. Ivan, I hate NYCFC and Orlando. You're a Red Bulls fan. I think really the only teams that I don't care for, I definitely don't care for the Galaxy. And I would have to say I don't really care for Orlando either. I think those are the two teams that I don't care for. I really don't care for Miami, but now that has kind of went away. Like I said, I am a huge Joseph Martinez fan. I'm going to follow him throughout the rest of his career. It doesn't matter where he goes. He stole my heart in Atlanta. Angus, I just like all teams from LA and New York. Okay. Cody, yes, Austin are going to be strong. They've reinforced their defense, which is crucial to them winning. Yes, it definitely will be crucial for them to win games there. All right, so this final game, we have Seattle and Colorado. Let's just touch on Colorado real quick. They finished 10th last season. I don't think they got anybody really good in. I think we talked about Ronan. That's a good pickup from the Wolves. I just don't think that they're going to be... They might be a little bit better than that, but I don't think much. And you all have voted 50% for the Sounders, Rapids for 17, and you think 33% of you think it's going to be a draw. And I'm going to have to go with Seattle 2-0 over Colorado. So that's really it for the video. That's all the games. I'm excited to watch them on Saturday. I plan on watching as many as I can. Also, there's going to be, pregame shows. I think that there's going to be a wraparound. I think that's what they're going to call it. But what it is like when the games are going on, I don't know if, anybody that has watched Champions League or the Europa League where they have the Golazo show, it's kind of like that. So that'll be cool. You'll get to see every goal. I'm excited for it. So it's looking up for the MLS, I believe, in my opinion. So, Cody, we got Cabral. Might be good now that he'll get some more time. Fernando. We lost Gabrielson. I think that's how you said Gabrielson. As defense, but gained Leo and another guy. So our defense is getting better. We have a lot of firepower now, though. That Red Bulls game was the worst. I still hate y'all. And then Ivan with the crying, laughing face. But no, thank you all so much for tuning in. You guys are fantastic. I really like this. Like Cody said, join that Discord. Let's chat more. We can all chat on Saturday after I do the watch along. Tune into the watch along. That is at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time is when Nashville and NYCFC play. And let me see real quick about that and see if the games are free this weekend. It's saying MLS Season Pass. I don't really see anything that says that all the games are free there. All good. I'm hoping you're good this year. And then Angus, while I tend to look at this league as a whole, I like wrap around shows. Yes, that's the same thing here. I cheer for Atlanta, cheer for Nashville, but I really like the league in general, and I like a lot of teams. I like a lot of players. So, yes, I think that show, I will probably watch that more than anything. All right, Cam. Let me see here. It doesn't really show. It doesn't say anything about the games. Yes, every single game this weekend is free on Apple TV. So thank you, Cody, for saying that. So Ivan, I know, Ivan, you said you get it for free anyway. But anybody else watching, all the games are free there on Apple TV. So again, thank you all for watching. We will definitely see you around. See you on Saturday if you tune in. And again, thank you all. You are awesome. We'll see you next time.